Hey guys, Modern Philosopher, and today I am going to be talking about the social contract. I'm going to be talking about socialism and capitalism. So, the main gist of it is Jean-Jacques Rousseau is a great philosopher, and he once said, um, "Man was born free, and he is everywhere in chains." By this, he means he's talking about all the stipulations that society puts on man, and all the stipulations of money and wealth, and how man basically becomes a slave by living in certain societies. And so he comes up with a really influential topic. It influences a bunch of people from like Marx and a bunch of like Lenin. They all get influences from Rousseau's social contract. And what the social contract is a contract between an individual and a community where the individual gives up a certain everything that they have. They give up all that they are to the community, and in return, the community gives the individual the benefits of the community. So, the benefits of the individual is the individual has their unique perspective, the individual has unique skills and assets and whatnot. However, the problem is that they're unique. So, the individual has only their set tools. Whereas when they enter the community is full of people that all have different talents, tools, abilities, different unique importance, right? And so the community is measured. The value of the community is measured based on the sum of the individuals. So when the individual gives all that they are to the community benefits by that individual, and in return, the community then benefits the individual by giving them the benefits of everybody else. So one of the main benefits is perspective. Individuals have unique perspectives. They've grown up in a unique society in a unique way, and the more perspectives you have in a community, the more adaptable a community becomes. So with the social contract, we come up with a spectrum. And on one side of the spectrum, we have socialism and democratism, and on the other side, we have capitalism and republicanism. And this is a really influential topic, and a lot of people have discussed it, argued about it, and there's been many wars discussing whether or not, or deciding whether or not which one is right. And in truth, neither is right. Because on one side, you have socialism. Now, socialism is based on the idea that everybody is equal. There's a bunch of quotes that say that socialism is awful because it prefers equality over liberty. And the main truth is that most people that have quotes or talk about socialism versus capitalism, they're biased. So a lot of the things that they say are biased, and they don't see the full picture. The people that discuss it are closing their mindset off to one side. And so one of the major points, the best way to argue a point is to argue your opposer's point better than they can. A great man said that. I forgot his name. So a lot of the things people do when they discuss this topic versus socialism versus capitalism is they don't see into the other's point of view, and that's the biggest flaw, because they don't see the benefits of the other. And so, real quick, I'm going to discuss the benefits of both. So, socialism goes into the idea where everybody is equal, right? Everybody has the same rights, everybody has the same amount of wealth, and everybody benefits and contributes equally to and from the society. So, while this is good, it diminishes individuality, and it diminishes uniqueness, and diminishes any type of diversity. And diversity is important because diversity and uniqueness is what allows the human race to adapt and evolve. Because individually we have one perspective, but the benefit of a society is that we have many perspectives, right? So the more perspectives we have, the more diverse our understanding is, the greater we'll be able to adapt and evolve in the future, right? And so socialism, in many cases, diminishes the diversity of the individual's perspectives, uniqueness, and makes everything equal. And while equality is good, what it does is it pretty much stunts further growth. It stunts any further adaptability, because when everything is the same, you can't really change. It's harder to change when everything is the same. It's like if you have, it's how the human DNA works, right? Human DNA, every DNA strand is different, right? So if a single virus came in and all the human DNA strands were the same, there was no mutations or anything, then that single virus would kill the entire human population. But evolution and adaptation cause mutations, and those mutations allow the human race to be diverse. And because the human race is diverse, only parts of the human race will be affected by the virus, whereas others will be immune. So that's the greatest benefit of diversity. And socialism diminishes diversity. So it diminishes the possibility of further evolution and adaptation. However, it is good because it does activate the beneficiaries of equality, because equality is good. Because if everybody has equal opportunities, then in the future they will be more likely to succeed or whatever, right? You're not diminishing certain people's ability in the future by giving them less opportunity today, if that makes sense. So that is the good part about socialism, equality. And so that's more toward democratism. In the United States, we're very toward one side of the spectrum, toward republicanism and capitalism, but we still have two sides to our spectrum. We have democratism and republicanism. So that was the benefits of socialism. On the other hand, we have capitalism. And capitalism strives for competition, individuality, and the ability for an individual to compete with other individuals and come out on top. And the good part about capitalism is that it really strives for diversity. It causes the human race to evolve and adapt and move forward, right? However, capitalism does prey to many vices. Capitalism does strive on the inequality of individuals. And no matter how much you can argue that capitalism is, that certain forms of capitalism are equal to all people, it just doesn't work. Capitalism strives on the fact of inequality, because if everybody is equal, then there is no reason for competition, and competition strives on the fact of one person being better than the other, right? And if everybody is equal, then you don't have that diversity to change. So the benefits of capitalism are diversity, and the benefits of socialism are equality. Now those are also on two parts of the spectrum, right? You go from everybody being equal to everybody being different, right? And so just like with the yin and yang and the extremes, you have to find some sort of middle ground, right? You have to find somewhere in the middle where not everybody is equal. Not everybody is on the same playing field, because if everybody is on the same playing field, everybody's going to be doing the same thing. Everybody's going to turn into complacency, and nobody's going to be moving toward the future, right? There's no reason to compete with other people. There's no reason to improve your society. It's the age-old question of why do we have money? Well, we need money because we have to have a reason to work. If we have no reason to work, then we're not going to go to work. We're just going to become lazy and complacent with the average day life. Whereas capitalism, it introduces competition that allows for people to compete and change the world and change the future. However, capitalism is bad because it diminishes the equality of people, and that is bad, because you have massive wealth dispersions that are terrible, because some people are living in terrible conditions while others are living in incredible conditions. So what you need to do in order to improve society is find some sort of balance between the two. You have to find some sort of system that advocates for change and advocates for improvement and advocates for competition. However, you need to, on the other hand, add some sort of equality to all. And so the main part of equality is that you need to have equal ground. If everybody starts on the same ground, then they can take their skill set, their unique talents, and they can compete with other people with them. But the problem is that with capitalism, not everybody's on the same ground. So a good part about socialism, it puts everybody on the same ground, but then everybody stays there. So education, if you have equal education for everybody, you allow everybody to have that equal ground. And once everybody is educated, then you can introduce capitalism. And capitalism, therefore, allows all these equally educated parties to compete and actually cause change and evolve the human race. So I advocate for some sort of middle ground between socialism and capitalism, because too far to either extreme is bad. And we have to understand that. And to improve, we need to find some sort of middle ground. Just like too much yin is bad and too much yang is bad, you have to find some sort of balance, and going back to Taoism and whatnot. I'm going to leave you guys with a quote from Winston Churchill. The inherent vice of capitalism is the unequal sharing of blessings. The inherent virtue of socialism is the equal sharing of miseries. So that's just one of the quotes that identifies how, a lot of people that talk about it are biased. They have one point of view and they're arguing that the other is bad for some reason. But like I was saying earlier, what you need to do is you need to take a step back, view both points of view, see the merits of both, and only take the merits of those. And that's how you have to be a balance between the extremes, because they are extremes. One is socialism and the other is capitalism. So I'm going to leave you guys with that quote from Winston Churchill, and that was today's Daily Enlightenment. I've been talking a lot about the social contract and how society versus self, community versus self. I'm going to talk more about the greater good, talk a little bit more about Rousseau, and then I'm going to discuss a little bit more about diversity and whatnot. That was today's Daily Enlightenment. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. I love to hear your guys' feedback. This is a really crazy argument that a lot of people I know have opinions on, and I would love to hear everybody's opinion if they have an opinion. And go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Google+. Alright, that was today's Daily Enlightenment. We'll see you guys next time.